I am a RV technician and I go undercover to dealerships to review RVs for quality. I think we all know there's a lot of sales bull that happens whenever you go to an RV dealer. For example, today's review we're going to be looking at a 2022 model cruiser RV, Shadow Cruiser 325 BHS. This is a bunk room style travel trailer with a separate room for bunks at the back. So for the water heater on the Shadow Cruiser, they have a new style Dometic tank type water heater. If you plan to camp off grid, a tank type water heater is better because it allows you to conserve water, unlike tankless water heaters. If you want to know more about what's going to be a good appliance for you in your camping style, go check out my free quiz on my website. I give these 6 out of 10 points because there's a dumb design built into it where if the wind blows the wrong way, it triggers a safety mechanism to shut down the water heater, but it shuts down both the gas and the electric function, leaving you with no way to get hot water. It's a cheap, easy fix if you know what you're doing, but there's absolutely no reason why this safety device for the propane system should prevent it from operating on electric mode. The roof on this RV is a typical membrane type roof, which I think is decent quality. I give them 10 out of 10 points, but you do have to remember there can be manufacturing defects if it's not glued down correctly and there's bubbles. Those bubbles will actually get bigger as you drive down the highway. This is because air hitting the front of the RV and going up and over creates a negative air pressure. So then it makes the bubbles grow and eventually starts flapping and can rip the entire roof off your RV. This is something that is covered in my free Don't Buy a Lemon guide, which you can download on my website. Because of this, I always recommend getting a third-party inspection so you can catch manufacturing defects and have them fixed before you buy the RV instead of it catching you unaware. Unfortunately, one of my consulting clients sent me an inspection report where the inspector had accidentally photographed and failed to comment on bubbles in the roof. This is why I've created an inspection network of inspectors that I have vetted and trust. You can find one of my inspectors at rigorrvinspection.com. For Slideouts on this RV, I do like the electrically actuated through frame slide mechanisms that they have on both of the slides. In my opinion, this is the most reliable type of slide mechanism. 10 out of 10 points on the slides. Now let's talk about the refrigerator choice. While I generally think bad things about 12-volt refrigerators, I was happy to see that this 12-volt refrigerator was a Norcold brand. Norcold seems to have less issues than all the other junk like Everchill and Furrion and Girard and however else they label them. I give this Norcold 12-volt refrigerator 9 out of 10 points. Next, let's look at the air conditioner choice. They chose Coleman Mach air conditioners, which I give 7 out of 10 points because in my experience, I've had to replace a lot of these that just lost their refrigerant prematurely, often in the 1 to 3 year old mark. If an AC loses its refrigerant, it's not designed to be repaired or recharged. You end up replacing the entire rooftop air conditioner unit, which these things are like $1,000 at least. They're very expensive. If you get an RV that has Coleman Mach air conditioners, the air conditioner has its own 2-year warranty from the manufacturer of the appliance. If you still have a working air conditioner at that point, you'll want to have it tested to make sure it's performing adequately. A pre-warranty expiration inspection can actually pay for itself in the costs of all the repairs that may need to be done to your RV. Let's talk about countertops in this RV. I think we all know there's a lot of sales bull that happens whenever you go to an RV dealer. For example, I was talking to a salesman about these 2 very similar cruiser Radiants and this RV, this Shadow Cruiser, and I asked him, how much are they and what's the difference? And he said, well, the cool thing is the better, more elite cruiser Radiance is actually $30,000 less today only. So I asked him directly, I said, okay, why is the better RV less money? And he said, well, it has to do with how long the RV has been on our lot. And when it's been on our lot for a certain number of days, then they drop the price to sell it. I said, okay, by that logic, I should be able to get the Shadow Cruiser for even cheaper if I come back in 6 weeks, right? He laughed awkwardly and said, no. Interestingly, the Cruiser Radiance was advertised to me as being their higher end but weirdly cheaper RV. And this is one area where this would be true. The countertop in the kitchen of the Radiance was actually solid surface, which is much higher quality. What I found in this RV, this Shadow Cruiser, was just thermofoil. Now, in the bathrooms, they actually both have the same junky Formica on particle board with a rubber edge. The countertops in this RV I give 1 out of 10 points for quality. If you want to be able to tell the difference between high quality countertops that will last and the cheap imitation, you should check out my RV shopping course. You can get my RV shopping course, which includes the mobile web app for grading RVs that you see me using today, and a database of over 600 RVs. And then if you want help matching up an RV with an appropriate tow vehicle to make sure that you're not towing in an unsafe manner, you can actually get a bundle of my shopping course plus the safe towing course together and save some money. All right, plumbing on this RV. Did they plumb it correctly? Honestly, folks, I don't believe they did, but I can't actually verify because I had a salesman who was like so eager to prove how honest of a salesman he was. He was hanging over my shoulder while I was reviewing this RV, so I was unable to dig around as much as I needed to find improper plumbing. This one was a little bit different compared to the Radiance that I reviewed right next door because I couldn't see bad plumbing under the sinks or at the toilet. But while it is plumbed a little bit better at least, I still can't say for sure that it is all plumbed correctly. Fit and finish on this RV, I would give 10 out of 10 points. There wasn't anything that was out of place or broken. You'd be surprised, some RVs I walk into, it's like a horror show. So the total score for this RV would be 71 points. Because I believe this RV has bad plumbing, don't buy it unless you really know that it actually has all good plumbing. Click here if you want to watch me go undercover to review more travel trailer RVs, or click here for a playlist that explains the plumbing problem in detail.